Well, thanks for joining us on another episode of BRG TV. My name is Zach Hill, and I'm excited to introduce you to our guest today, my teammate and friend, Travis Miller. Welcome, Travis. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Zach. Thanks for having me.
Travis, I appreciate you making time to let us here at the Burris Realty Group highlight you, get to know you better, talk a little bit about real estate and whatever else comes to mind. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Well, hey, it's really been a privilege to get to know you for what it's worth. At the time of recording, we're new friends,
Yeah.
uh, but you're not new to the Burris Realty Group, nor are you new to real estate. So I'm kind of curious, what comes to mind when you think about your journey in real estate and how you met the Burris Realty Group? I think it's an exciting story, and I'm interested in whatever you choose to share with us today.
Yeah, I believe when I met the Burris Realty Group, it was the Burris individual. It was let's see, I moved to Central Indiana in 2007, and got an apartment because I didn't know the area. But by early 2008, I was ready to build my first house. And I met a guy that was working for the builder in the community model home. That just happened to be Clay.
I love it.
And he helped me pick out a lot. He helped me pick out a floor plan. He helped me through the whole process. And that was my first transaction. That was my first experience really with any type of real estate. Fast forward a few years, the rates dropped. I was starting to see, hey, where can I refinance my mortgage? And Clay had switched over to being a loan guy in the mortgage company, and so we had stayed in touch. And he was able to help me refinance. And then, sure enough, by the time I was ready to sell that home, he had become a realtor himself. So he helped me put that house on the market, and led me through that experience. It's an awesome experience. I remember getting the phone call. I was in Florida, Disneyland actually, or Disney World in Orlando, and I got the call that we got an offer. And this was the time when offers weren't coming hours after things were posted. So we were really excited. We got to celebrate that things were happening on our behalf while we were out of state on vacation. Everything was out of mind. It was awesome. Since then, Clay's been able to help me find another home down in the Fountain Square area, live in downtown Indianapolis for a few years. Then when my family started to grow, helped me put that on the market, and helped me actually buy this house, find it, and purchase it in Fishers. So he's been kind of a staple of my real estate journey for sure, and he's grown along the way. Different transactions, I've met different people. The transaction coordinator that's still on the team. There was other agents that helped show me houses in this most recent time. So that's where I really learned about the Burris Realty Group. Here recently, I was looking for a change in what I was doing, and I saw a post about the Burris Realty Group looking to maybe expand and willing to take on someone without any I don't know what transactional experience. I feel like I have some experience
You
in
sure do.
real estate, even if it's not transactional.
You sure
And
do.
we sat down for lunch, and everything's just been clicking ever since. So I'm happy to be a part of the team, and that's really what's brought me to this point right now.
That's awesome, Travis. And there's so much to unpack there, but as succinctly as you said it, I think it's fair to say you have the most experience with the Burris Realty Group. You saw each incarnation of Clay's real estate journey, our team leader, and who the team is named after, all the way up to now joining the team as a realtor, as you just said. And so that's wild to me. I don't think I ever understood the picture that clear. And so that's fantastic. But yeah, again, at the time of recording, we're so glad to have you join us on the realtor side. I'm curious if you can talk to us a little bit about your background before coming to real estate, because I think it will serve your clients so well. And I think it's worth noting that while you might be new as a realtor, you're certainly not new as a professional or serving people. And that's really what this career is about. So whatever you'd like to talk about there, Travis, take it away.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess it was partially job was partially going back to school. When that brought me to Central Indiana in 2007, like I talked about, I was already working for AT&T at the time. It took me a while. I went the unconventional route to a degree. People joke all the time when I say a lot of people go to college for 11 years, and most people point out I'm not a doctor and I don't have any advanced degrees, but that's fine. That's fine. I ended with a degree and a lot of experience. AT&T was great to me. I cut my teeth in retail in their stores. I managed teams throughout Hamilton County, where I live right now, and customer service was always a top priority. We handled the last 10 feet of the sale, connecting the products that the company wanted consumers to experience with them in their day-to-day life. And that's always been really important to me. Now, I did finish up my degree in marketing, and I wanted to move over into some of the hardware side of the technology spectrum. And I started working for Samsung on their starting with their phones and tablets, and eventually getting into home appliances. And that was the first time I saw myself as moving out of like your everyday, your cell phones in your pocket need, to your home and your home appliances and everything like that, and seeing how people make those decisions, and people really take pride in their home and the things that they put in their home. And again, my team was responsible for 13 states worth of selling Samsung appliances, through the big three: Home Depot, Lowe's, and Best Buy. That's what we were responsible for. And after that, I started my own small marketing company to kind of help small businesses that didn't have anybody on staff to do marketing for them.
Yeah.
It was something where I wanted to step away from the corporate world and see if I could be my own boss, and see how I could be both the product and the service, and just fully serve my clients.
Yeah.
And that was great. I loved it. It was probably some of the most fun I ever had. A lot of my clients were small restaurants, bars, hospitality places who, whenever I met and said, "Hey, who's doing your marketing?" And they're like, "Oh, the girl who works on Tuesdays behind the bar." Like, it's helping them kind of connect the thing that they want to connect to their customers in a space that they weren't in before. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and a lot of those places weren't doing a lot of marketing. So I found myself in a construction company. One of my clients, actually, from that job, brought me on to be their director of marketing. And for a few years, I spent building a sales team and doing all the marketing for a home construction company. This again reiterated the just being able to sit across the table from someone and find out the pride that they have in their home and the things that they want to do. We did a lot of siding and windows and roofs and that kind of thing. And now, I look at homes so much differently. So that was my most recent thing that I had been a part of. So again, when real estate came along, even though I'd never done the real estate side of the transactions, I do get the home ownership from me personally and the people I've been able to serve before. And, I'm really excited to be able to, again, sit across from the table, talk with people about how I can serve them, and, look at a goal and get them to achieve it.
Fascinating stuff. As I get to know you better, I've heard a little bit of it, but it just resonates so much more, because even as I listen to you share it, I can tell your passion for it. I can tell, I can hear the pride you take in what you do. I can hear the ambition to grow. And ultimately, Travis, as we always talk about, your just passion to serve. That's who we are on the Burris Realty Group. Service over sales every day, and you fit that to a T. And so I'm so glad to be a teammate with you and share that in common. Certainly, we have a lot to learn from you and grow with you here, the Burris Realty Group, and just your wealth of experience. It's funny, I continue to learn about your career, but dare I say, you equally have as much real estate experience through going through the buying and selling process too. I'm curious if we can talk a little bit about what it felt like to transition as a person with your family, who is just the best, and what you were learning about real estate that brought you back to something we've already kind of talked about, which is where you're landing today. But you've bought and sold plenty. So if I made any sort of question in there, I'm curious your answer.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've learned that real estate is all about connecting, yourself to where you are right then in your life. I've learned, like, that very first house that we picked out the floor plan. It was a 4 bedroom, one in a neighborhood because we were going to fill it early with kids, and then looking back, I moved out of that house and it was, just me and my fiance at the time. Like, there was no one in that room, in those extra rooms. So we went down and we moved downtown into Fountain Square, and we we kind of lived that part of our life, and that home was completely different. We found that, right then for us was about being close to, like-minded people who were at the same stage in their life and ready to, meet up after work at the brewery around the corner, or the patio that, had some live music playing, and it was awesome. That house will always hold a special place in my heart. And then again, things change, right? I've got an 18-month-old right now at the time that we're recording this, and honestly, our house down in Fountain Square had open staircases that went 3 stories high, and it would have been a great jungle gym maybe if we made it to him being 3 or 4 in that house. But we just everything looked a bit different once
Yep.
those things come along in your life, and we decided that something we were ready for something different. And we found that, moving into a place that we were going to be able to grow and enjoy team sports and enjoy the school systems and do everything was the right move for us. So yeah, we moved from the inner city to a suburb, found a great neighborhood, and it just really sets me up to understand the different parts of town, the different neighborhoods that products are available, and that every single home that's on the market has an audience. And it's all about connecting that product to the right person at their right time of their life, and that's how we can be successful together as agents and as clients.
Oh, so well said, Travis. That's why I said toward the top of our conversation here, it wasn't my intention at all to talk about you being a new realtor, but in my mind, you're not, because you've been through the buy and sell process. You've changed locations inside our city. You've felt the stresses and pains of it. You've experienced the joys of it, and now you get to take all that experience and share that from the other side of the table. And again, we have no doubt you're going to do great with that. But let's pivot a second, because we dove in and we got serious so fast, and I love that part of the conversation. But you and I both aren't from Indianapolis, and so I'm curious, as people are watching this as a fan of yours or getting to know you. You choose, how'd you get here, and what do you love about the city? You've already pointed out a little bit of that, but I'm learning as we go too. So how would you
Sure.
answer that, Travis?
Yeah, yeah. So, I was working on a different degree at the time, and working for a company that had locations everywhere. So I moved from my childhood home, which was in southern Indiana, as far south as you can go in Indiana. Down in Evansville is where I grew up and was raised, and so came up here to. At that point, I was studying at Ball State in their TCOM, in their telecommunications department, actually, as a non-traditional student, because I was, living off campus. I had a job that was part-time, then turned to full-time, and everything just comes at you. And if you try to make a plan, that's usually when things get off, off rails. So I bumped around a little bit, advancing my career quicker than I advanced my degree. And um, and I settled here in Indianapolis for all that time because it was where I could put down roots. I found friends. I found events about the city. Just again, it's May right now in Indiana, which is an awesome time. My wife and I just ran the Indy Mini last weekend. We'll be at the track later. It's it's just the things that come along here are different than anywhere else. And I'll be honest, I even though I thought about getting, into real estate even earlier in my career, I kind of always had one foot that was always looking at maybe moving out of Indiana. And I had jobs before where, again, we're based all over the country, headquarters jobs, corporate jobs are going to take you to this coast or that coast. And I don't think it was until fairly recently, us finding this home, that we're like, okay, we're settled now. Now we are settled. And now
Okay.
I get to use all the things I've learned over the last 15
Sure.
years to really help other people understand what it is about Central Indiana that I have come to really enjoy. I think that living downtown, you get to see some of the arts, and the food scene in Indiana and Indianapolis is actually kind of cool. And I'm looking to find those out here in the suburbs. Like everything else, it's just more spread out. I got to find them, but it's not like I can walk to 4 new restaurants every single week like I could downtown. And we're exploring, and Indiana's been really good to us. Here's the little secret. I'm not going anywhere. My parents are moving up here to Fishers from my childhood home as
Yep.
soon as their house is built. So I'm going to be here for a while now. I had to sign a contract with them, a family one, whatever that means. We had to have that talk. But so now, I'm at this stage in my life and realizing, okay, I think I might have found what I want to do when I grow up.
Oh, that's so beautiful, man. And isn't it wild to just look back at the journey, learn from it, win, lose, or draw, and be excited about what's next.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hey, Travis, I'm so excited to know you now. I'm so excited to work with you. I quickly know you as a detail-oriented person. You care, a heart of service shines through hanging out with you, and you're patient on a team of talkers and strong-willed people. You are patient and always have something valuable and positive to add to us, and again, no doubt, to your clients and business partners that you'll work with. Well, hey, we've covered a lot of ground, and I'd love to keep talking to you longer, but I'm curious, just in this moment, is there anything that you'd want to share that maybe that we missed or I didn't bring up or touch on?
Geez, I mean, I think we've got a really good, background in what has brought me to this point. And, you know, I look out at the horizon and couldn't be more excited about what is to come. So if I was going to leave anybody who's watching this with something, it would be keep watching what's coming next. That's what I can't wait for. There's going to be more of these videos. We're going to be, giving you opportunities to get to know us more, both what we can provide and just the people we are. So I couldn't be more excited about what the future holds.
Well said, my friend. Well said. I can't either, and I'm excited to work with you through that. Well, hey, are you ready for our speed round?
Okay, yeah, let's
Hey,
do this.
I'm going to ask you 5 easy questions to lighten things up a little bit before we get out of here. And there's no wrong answers. All right. Here we
Okay.
go, Travis. Favorite band?
um, the band Fun.
All
Some
right.
nights. Probably a great great album that they put out. That one hit at a great time of my life. My wife and I have traveled around the country and seen them a handful of times. That'd be my favorite band.
It sounded like you were ready to sing it.
No, no, absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. All right. I love it. Great answer. That's fun. Hey, favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man. You ever have one of those friends that you are continually amazed at movies they haven't seen? I'm probably that guy on the team. I'm that guy in the group. Like I uh, I lived my life long enough to be able to ask other people, like, should I watch Star Wars in the way that they happened or in the way they came out, because I had never seen them. So maybe movie's not a great one.
Okay, but that tells us something. I thought you were going to say I live my life a quarter mile at a time, which would have been a movie, but you probably
Uh,
haven't seen that movie.
I think a Fast and Furious, is that
There you
right?
go. There you go.
Nice.
Here's one. You'll enjoy this, and I imagine you'll struggle to find a favorite. But favorite podcast, favorite book, something that motivates you to grow or to be the best version of yourself. What comes to mind if you just had to choose one?
Yeah, those are different questions.
Mm.
But I mean, I really do enjoy sports, so a lot of my favorite podcasts are sports related. Now I won't say that necessarily helps me grow because I can listen about the golf tournament that happened last weekend, and I'm not going and shooting any better scores on the next weekend when I go out. But really, I guess I do enjoy listening to long form interviews where you get to, I mean, not unlike what we're doing here, you get to take someone that maybe at the surface and dig a little bit deeper and kind of connect dots to how you may be more similar than you thought to somebody, or you get a few surprises along the way. So there's some podcasts that kind of focus on that I don't mind listening to in my spare time.
Oh, it's fantastic, and that's great clarity. Maybe the interviewer can get better at his job in the future. But really well said. Hey, when you get to go out to eat, and it could be a date with your beautiful wife or your family, or you get to choose, Travis, where are you going?
And when I get to choose, um, I don't feel like I get to choose all that often. So you're putting me in a spot that's good to be in. Um, First of all, it's got to be local. It's got to be something that is here in the community, that's ran by, and you know, and that is really building the fabric of what is Indianapolis. So I found a lot of times over the year that going to a nice local brewery is a lot of fun. Something where they even produce the product there, and it's all about the people that you can surround the table with. It's all about the fun that you can have, and I don't know. You can take us anywhere. We'll eat to have some fuel and nourishment, but it's all about fellowshipping around the community and whatever type of atmosphere I can get into. So a lot of local breweries fit that mold pretty well. So we'll find ourselves in there from time to time.
I love it, man. Wise beyond your years. It took me a long time to realize it's not about what's on the table, but who's around it. So
Oh, for sure.
really well said, my friend. All right, this one's a little loaded. It's our last one, and there's no wrong answer here. But I'm curious what you're willing to share. What's one goal you have for yourself moving forward from today?
Yeah. Um, I sat across the table of the owner of our brokerage, someone who Clay's even chosen to team up with, and so that means a lot. And they asked the same question, and my short term goal is to succeed, and that means a lot of different things. But like I want to get through these first couple of years that are going to be tough for any realtor that I've heard over and over, and make it out on the other side. And succeed doesn't mean a goal of amount of money or houses sold or anything like that, but really, sustaining people and their transactions and their needs being met, and doing it in a way that I can continually grow brick by brick, little by little along the way into something that will, achieve that long-term success. So, I know it's hard to define, but my goal is to make it in this industry. And so I'm looking at ways that I can help out the people I know, the people that may be finding me in this video here. And, maybe it's answering their questions about what a process looks like, just so they're more comfortable with it. What we do isn't all about just buying and selling houses. It's about making people comfortable with the things they're going to have to go through to hit their goals. And if I do that, then I'll hit my goal of making it in this role with this team.
Travis, I want to celebrate that answer because you didn't know I was going to ask you that, and I've sat in a room with you discussing similar things, and I couldn't vouch more for your just such an authentic answer, and where your heart is in starting this business. And I have every confidence that you're going to do great work through serving our local community. So I'm cheering you on. Our team is cheering you on, and at least for today's episode, I'll wrap it up with just saying thank you so much for believing in us when you chose to make this step, and we're excited to grow with you.
Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate that.
Cool. Well, we're going to say goodbye to Travis as we wrap up this episode of BRG TV. We appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Check out another video while we're here. We appreciate it. Take care.